Presented by Horns and Hooves Entertainment. You're watching Bob Hansen, Tom Uchek, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. You still up? Live. It's Buffalo After Dark.
Hey, welcome to Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It is Thursday, July 15th, and we've got a full house here tonight. A lot of stuff to talk about, but of course, we've got a couple guys joining us tonight. Of course, the headless wonder, Bob over here, who's not even on camera when we went live, so F him. And then we got Trevor and Ryan. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic, man. Just got back from Houston to watch the Astros and Stanky series, which was fun. Missed the walk-off, which we were sitting in the Uber, and I guess in game 3, they just kept getting hit after hit after hit after hit, and then they walked it off. My brother and I were at that game. We were just losing it in the Uber car. We were laughing so hard that they actually came back and won, and we missed it.
Nice.
What was that comment you said earlier, Tom? What was that comment you said earlier?
Yeah.
Now?
How I called you the headless wonder because you weren't even on camera when we went live.
What the fuck are you talking about? I never even left the place.
Yeah.
Shut up, dude.
He
How you
left
doing?
a couple minutes ago.
Yep. Yeah, so what were you going to say who the next person was?
Oh,
I think it's
well,
Ryan.
we got you. So how are you and Ryan doing?
Doing good.
I'm doing good. I'm rocking the Batman hat tonight because I wanted to.
Nice.
I like it, Bobby.
Thank you. I like your white hat, though.
Mhm.
I know. I'm a sucker for the old school stuff, the retros '90s stuff. So
Yeah.
But you're still fucking boring. I'll tell you that right now.
all right.
We gotta bust it a little bit.
This is not the Ryan Rose show. Just at least yet. At least not
No.
yet.
Let me add more insult to that injury. Go introduce Andy.
All right.
All right,
Andy,
now he's
how
the
you doing?
headless wonder.
All right. Andy is the headless wonder here. He's not even on camera. How you doing? Andy.
He was having some
Andy, you're actually
some
awake?
sound issues earlier.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. How's it going?
It's going.
You
All
didn't
right,
drink too much
I'm here.
tonight, right?
All right, ready to go.
Oh God.
The sleeper pick, is that what we're doing?
Nope.
I don't know.
I have a pillow and a blanket. So this is the part where I start to wrap myself up when Ryan starts to open his mouth and doesn't shut the fuck up for 10 minutes. I go like this.
Didn't Stuart Scott used to do that on ESPN for his his fantasy
did.
sleeper pick?
I think
Bring
he
out
did
a
at one
pillow.
point. I
Yeah.
missed that guy too. He was cool. He was cool.
I can just tell him in his face that he's just like, Bobby, there's 5 other people here, but you're so lucky you don't live in Buffalo. I smacked the shit out of
Cooler
you.
than the other side of the pillow, as our boy
Right.
Stuart Scott used to say. Yep.
Yep. And then we got Mr. Bubba Matt here. How you doing?
Doing good. How you gentlemen doing?
I love the wallpaper, my man. Love it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
There
Even
you
though I
go.
was in Houston over the weekend, but I still love the wallpaper you got going on there.
Hey, you do you, man. Hey, it's all good.
Absolutely.
I should have done this long ago. The very second I heard the news.
Yeah, you guys should have
Yeah,
still had that
sure.
All-Star game down there. There was no reason for them to move that.
Oh, Ryan's still here. God damn it.
So,
Hey, he just turned his camera off for a second.
I know.
yeah.
I just so I'm on my phone, and this is only the second time I've ever done Zoom on my phone. So I'm scrolling through to see what all the viewing options are. And the first one is like safe driving mode. So I guess it turns your camera off.
No, okay. All right. Well, of course, if you guys want to jump in, we are live as usual. So, of course, 929-205-6099 gets you on, and we get to talk to all 6 of us, and we'll probably bust your chops a bit, which we always do, which is all good. So, first thing we're going to talk about, Bobby, you mentioned it, Nikita Kucherov and
Not
beer.
endorsed by Bud Light
Yes.
immediately after winning the Stanley Cup.
That was one of the most fun post-game speeches I have ever seen.
Yeah, can we also just talk about that the Tampa Bay Lightning ended up breaking the Stanley Cup?
That was the most boring fucking Stanley Cup Finals I ever watched in my entire life.
Oh, the 1-0
Not as
shutout.
boring as watching the
No, just like the whole finals in general. Like you have Tampa Bay who's spending like $18 million over the cap, basically buying another championship in another shortened season. I'm just like, dude, this is so fucking boring.
Not as boring as watching the Astros cheat their way to another World Series.
Oh, ha ha ha! Keep fucking crying, you little crybaby. Wham.
Yeah, I got 2 World Series titles. What the fuck are you bitching about?
Well, you're obviously living back in the 1980s. I'm living in the now, where the Astros are probably the best team in the American League, if not the entire league. So,
Tell that to the Washington Nationals.
dude, the Nationals are fucking shit. What are you talking
and
about?
they beat you in the World Series. So
Yeah, 2 years ago. Once again, you're living in the past.
that was 2 years ago. That's still relevant.
No, it's not. Not if they suck.
Yeah, it does.
No, the Nats suck. You gotta live in the now. Live in the now.
The only thing that the Nats have right now is Steven Strasburg, and that's when he's actually healthy.
Give me
And
the
when-
juice. Give me the juice. Jose
Give him the
Altuve.
Dude, you don't want the smoke from Jose. He's 5'6", but he's the tallest man on the field in terms of hitting walk-offs against the Yankees.
Well, I could certainly say the Astros are still overrated.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Shut your mouth.
No,
Nobody talks about them except in a negative light.
you can't handle the truth.
The only thing that's overrated is Aaron Judge. You know, when he's doing this with his jersey, he's like, it's chilly at Minute Maid Park. And then Gary Sanchez puts the entire jacket on. And then Altuve shuts them up, shuts those overrated fucks up. And then his whole jersey is ripped off. I'm like, let's go. Even though I missed it, I still watched the highlight.
Yeah, I love how Sean's like, Trevor, don't make me do it.
No, he doesn't care. Obviously, look at his background.
He's a Yankee fan. What did you expect him to do?
Look at his back. Just take 2 seconds and read his
I
background.
literally don't care anymore. I really don't. I'll always love the Yankees and I'll love the Braves as well, but I am done with the MLB. Like, I'm done.
And that's fair. Yeah, he does not care. And you almost knocked your calendar down with that pillow, by the way. I would have laughed so hard.
It's already ripped, so it doesn't really matter. So I don't fucking care.
That's fair.
Nice.
I mean, it has more it has more pages than the Houston Astros championship title. Oh wait, never mind. You're cheating on that too.
What are you talking about? I don't even think that came out the right way.
Well, the calendar has more chapters to tell than that entire season. But
Yeah, okay. A calendar is a chapter book now. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. I don't think a calendar has chapters in it. The fuck are you saying? What is wrong with him?
Oh, I know.
I have no dude.
Hey,
A
you
lot.
guys. Oh no, you can't even see it. Never mind. I was gonna hold up a fresh koozie.
Well, there's a pillow on the back of my head.
Yes, very good.
Yeah,
Very good. There is a pillow against the back of your head. Very good.
Yeah, because I put that there. There's also shit
It's
in
like-
the background too.
It's like
There's also shit in your
half.
back.
The pillow's like half the size of the pillowcase, but or it's actually double the size of the pillowcase.
I
but-
noticed that too.
Well, I like it this way.
Oh man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, Nikita Kucherov got endorsed by Bud Light right after they won their back-to-back Stanley Cups before Trevor threw a bitch fit, saying this was the most boring thing since mankind.
It was fucking boring.
Wasn't that boring?
That was a burn. Ovi did the same thing when he ended up getting totally hammered in the Stanley Cup parade.
Was the
He was
2002
drinking
Stanley
beer
Cup
out of the
boring?
cup.
No, I'm not saying that the celebration was boring. I'm saying that the games were boring.
I
The
don't know,
finals were so boring.
How's
Yeah,
this
when you're
so boring,
watching
though? Just
when you're
because it was
watching
a defensive
Tampa
game?
Bay just sweep Montreal. like,
Yeah,
you're hoping
exactly.
For something
I
more.
thought Montreal was going to put up a way better fight. I was thinking Montreal would lose in maybe 6 or 7, but I think the Tampa Bay Lightning beat them in 5. Was it 5 or 4?
It was,
No, it was a sweep.
Yeah, it was 5 games because
It was 4.
It was a 3-0 lead. Then Montreal
Wow.
came back, won the one game, and then Tampa shut them out 1-0.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they won in 5. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, remember that celebration that Montreal had?
So,
when they
in
won
general,
Game
though,
4?
they've also dented the Stanley Cup, which is the biggest sin right now. But
Which
that's
is
okay.
hilarious.
Yeah, but that's fine. They brought the Stanley Cup back to Montreal for repairs, so it's good as new.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't know if it was boring just because the teams were boring or just the games were boring, or the fact that the Sabres have just crushed my spirits so much that I don't even want to watch playoff hockey. I'd rather watch regular season baseball over the Stanley Cup Finals.
Why
Like,
don't you? So Trevor, why don't you just switch teams then?
I'm not on that bandwagon shit. I mean, I'll always be a Sabres fan, but I'm not going to switch teams. I'm not going to switch. I mean, I live here in Buffalo. I've been rooting for them since I was like 4 years old. I can't switch now.
So be it. All right. So in the process of all this too, I would say, does Tampa go for a three-peat? Is the ultimate question.
I think so.
I'd wait till the season starts to make any predictions because it just ended, but probably not.
Yeah, definitely not.
You don't think so?
I doubt it.
What
I
about
don't
you?
think
There's
so.
there's only two reasons that they're as good as they are, and it's Kucherov and Stamkos, and they're already talking about. I mean, the cup wasn't even in their hands 5 seconds before the Stamkos is getting traded because they can't afford him. Rumors were already out there. There's no way going forward that they're going to be able to continue to pay all their guys, especially if they're going into back-to-back championships. There's no way.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of. Wait, what?
They have a lot of depth on that team, though.
Did somebody say something?
I think Tom said something, but his Wi-Fi is cutting in and out.
Yeah.
His wife has it. Yeah, his Wi-Fi is ass.
Yeah.
Like he is just dead frozen right now.
He's just a black screen for me.
Well, I just see his beautiful, ugly face at the moment.
That made no sense. That was contradictory.
Why?
Beautiful,
Why not?
ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, in other words, it's beautiful to look at, but it's also really ugly at the same time. Oh, fuck, his lip is moving.
Boy, now it's
I don't see it. I just see him frozen.
Ugly as her
He's
mama.
been frozen for like 2 minutes.
Well, think about it. His nose is really big. Yeah.
Oh, there he
I
is.
mean, we don't need like a psychoanalysis of his
He's
face.
moving now.
Yeah, seriously.
I see him moving. He's drinking
it's
something.
Like, is that him one day? It's
He's
like
drinking some
basically
sort of
it's
serum
ugly
to
as
get
her
his
mom's ass.
hairline retracted back.
Jesus. If Adam was here, I think he...
Oh,
Oh,
he'd be having a
God.
field day with it.
I'll let you finish that one.
Yeah, that's for sure. So there's a bunch of Seattle Kraken news coming out this week, and there's already been a handful of people that are going to be exposed in next week's draft. And I actually have a list right here. And the people that are willing to waive their no movement clauses are Jakub Voracek, Jeff Skinner, Ben Bishop, Eric Johnson, and Milan Lucic.
Okay, Skinner can get fucking out of Buffalo. I couldn't care less anymore. Get him out of here.
Okay. And there's also a possibility of a trade between the Seattle Kraken and the Calgary Flames. In fact, I have the news right here.
Okay.
Here we go. It says right here from Craig Button on TSN. He said the Seattle Kraken and the Calgary Flames are indeed in trade talks to avoid having the Kraken select Captain Mark Giordano if he is in fact left exposed. Button suggests that the three defensemen protected by the Flames when they submit their list on Sunday will be Chris Tanev, Rasmus Anderson, and Noah Hannafin, leaving Mark Giordano opening for the picking. However, as being reported by Seattle, is looking for a top dollar for any, quote, side deals from teams looking to keep a guy that may not be on the protected list that is submitted.
So what is that like? So does that mean that Giordano could be free game if the Flames fuck it up? Like if the Flames don't give him an offer sheet at all, does that mean that Giordano can get selected by Seattle?
Exactly. Seattle could take Giordano if they wanted to.
I think that'd be a good move, but Calgary's got to get
They're
on
going to
it.
make a trade so that they don't take him.
Well, it depends on what they give up. Like I would say if they're gonna make a trade with Calgary, they're gonna probably give up a few handful of picks because this happened a few years ago with Buffalo, which was, if you remember, they wanted Linus Ullmark, but the Sabres said we want to keep Ullmark, and they said, okay, in order to protect Ullmark, we'll give you a 6th-round pick, and Vegas said, sure, we'll take the 6th-round pick. We also have to take William Carrier. So this could be a similar situation that we're looking at here with Calgary.
I forgot about William Carrier.
Yeah.
I remember when he was a Sabre for a little while.
You know who else I forgot about? Connor
Who?
Brickley and JF Berube.
I forgot about them too. I still remember the last time I heard those names come up.
Yeah, you should have been there for our expansion draft episode a few weeks ago. That was a fun episode to do.
Can the Kraken take more than one scrub saber, or is that against the rules?
It's against the rules. They can only take one player per team. So
'Cause-
every team has to protect at least 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goalie.
Well, I think they should take either Colin Miller or Jeff Skinner.
I have a feeling they're going to take. Well, Tom said Tage Thompson a few weeks ago. I have them taking Colin Miller as well.
Like, good, because Colin Miller is like he's always playing like he just doesn't know what he's doing, and I don't know if that's like a Buffalo thing or if it's a coaching thing. But was he ever that bad in another organization, or was it just Buffalo where he decided to play like that?
Probably just.
I mean, he was average in Vegas, which is why we traded for him. But then he came here, and if you remember, I think Bobby said it during one of the episodes too. Like it came out that his big thing was he didn't like that Kruger was like switching around his different defensive partners. Like
He
every
never
couple of
started him.
games.
Kruger would
Yeah.
never start him.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Now,
Yeah.
my thing is, the expansion draft is the easiest way to get rid of like quote unquote shit players, right? Like in the Sabres organization, Carrier was like an almost below average player, and now he's like one of the best players in the Vegas organization. But like, if Jeff Skinner's available, chances are he's going to go somewhere else. Chances are if he goes somewhere else, he's going to play really good. But like, why would you not take him? And I don't
Right.
buy the thing of like, well, he costs what is it, like $9 million or
Right.
whatever it is. Like, well, he costs $9 million. Seattle isn't going to want to pay that. They have like $84 million in untapped cap space.
And
you
who
can pick
says
up $9 million for 6 years?
right? And who says the Sabres can't chew off a quarter of that contract, like $2 million off?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. But again, it all comes down to what team is offering one player. Because the thing I look at with the Jeff Skinner situation is that he's pretty much willing to waive his no movement clause for Buffalo to protect one extra player. Because I think that was the whole purpose. Like, I mean, for him to do that, that's him being a team player.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
$9
But like,
million a year.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, a lot of people were saying exactly what Bobby just said. Of well, they're not going to take him at 6 years for $9 million. But why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take a guy who's $9 million for 6 years if you have $84 million to play with? Like, you can certainly afford it.
Right.
Right.
Oh, we have a trade, by the way, guys. We have some breaking news. We actually have an actual trade. So there is a trade between the New Jersey Devils and the Colorado Avalanche. Here is the trade. The New Jersey Devils. Yeah, here we go. So this is the trade. It is Ryan Graves has been traded from the Colorado Avalanche to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for forward Mikhail Matsev and a second-round draft pick in next week's draft.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow. So this is interesting.
Earth
Right?
So New Jersey sent the second round to Colorado.
So Colorado is getting Maltsev and a second. New Jersey is getting Graves from Colorado.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah,
That kind of works both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the people that were during the mock draft episode we did a few weeks ago with the Seattle Kraken, so that's including myself, Tom, Sean, and Andy. The four of us were in that episode. And if you remember, Andy, you picked Ryan Graves to get exposed to the Kraken from the Avalanche.
Yep.
Yeah, so now how do you feel? Now that he's officially gone.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I don't
Putting it
care.
lightly.
Johnson's gone. Graves is gone. Still have Taze and Carr and Gerard. So Timmins, there's a bunch of young talent coming up. I don't care.
Yeah. I just find this really interesting to think that Devils, of all people, would pick up Ryan Graves in a trade. I just find that really interesting.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know if I agree so much with New Jersey trading away a second round pick, especially when their whole thing is that they need to get younger and they need to be developing their own talent because they've been picking in the. I mean, they have some good young elite talent on that roster, but it's not been enough to push them to where they should be. So I'm not really sure I agree with getting rid of a second round pick, but I mean, also not the GM of the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, but Graves is a good two-way defenseman for sure.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm just like you said though, Bobby. You didn't see New Jersey making this move.
I mean, I don't follow the Devils quite often. I mean, granted, I of all of us on the show, I am probably the closest person to the Devils, considering I live near New Jersey.
Right.
I live about 2 hours from New Jersey, so I have a bit of a contact with the Devils. But as far as like the fan base, though, a lot of Devils fans are very, very excited about this right now. As far as just, like reading the tweets and stuff like that, a lot of Devils fans are really, really excited about this trade.
I mean, I hope it works out for them, right? I mean, some of my best memories is Buffalo playing a good Devils teams like a decade or so back. So
Right.
hoping it works out for them.
Oh yeah, the New Jersey trap system, basically.
Yeah.
But actually, we do have some breaking news out of the Buffalo Buttes. So right now, basically, Kristen Wheels-Lewicki has just announced her retirement from the NWHL. So basically, the thing that she mentioned is that she decided to hang up the skates. She accepted a new opportunity outside of the game, and she decided to go forward with that. So basically from there, I mean, she played with the team for a few years, but she decided to now was the time to hang it up.
Right. And she's still better than half the Sabres roster.
Yes.
Oh man, a lot of the Buttes are.
Yeah, I bet you that
they've been.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I've been following the Buttes a little bit over the last couple of years. The amount of talent that they've added, I know Tom's been following them too, especially through this season. But like it just, and Tom, you can point me in the right direction here. The amount of talent that they've added just in the last couple of weeks between the draft, I think they had like 10 or 11 picks in the draft.
Yeah.
They re-signed a bunch of players. I think that they even traded at some point. They signed some free agents. And I know that they had like an open tryout camp because somebody that I used to be friends with, I heard through the grapevine that she was trying out because she's a female hockey player. So she, I know that they signed some people off of that open tryout camp. So the amount of talent that they've added and the amount of talent that they've had since the beginning is really good.
Yeah,
Trevor's right, though. Most of them might be better than the Sabres roster.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they had a pickup game of street hockey, I think the Buttes would win by like 7 or 8 goals.
Yeah. I mean, and they have another and more news that's coming out right now also. So veteran forward Taylor Wasik is going to come back to the Buttes for this season also. So she actually won a silver medal with the U.S. women's national team at the 2012 Women's World Championships. So, I mean, big signing for them. I mean, they have great veteran presence coming back. And it actually reminds me of when I was down in Long Island 2 years ago, and me and Bobby actually I was visiting him for the weekend, him and his fiance, and we actually ran into Hillary Knight and the Olympic team skating at the Northwell Ice Center.
That is pretty cool, man. Yeah.
That was definitely something we didn't plan on it. We just saw it. It was pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. So, in general, though, just to go back for a minute about the Kraken Flames talk, Sean, what do you think going in about that whole situation with Calgary?
I mean, I honestly wouldn't know what to think. I mean, things are just getting. Things are getting just interesting with the draft coming up next week and all that stuff. So, hey.
Absolutely.
If he could get a captain, I think that's the number one thing for Seattle. Like for Seattle fans, if they can get an established captain, I think that's a good step in the right direction. But I don't think Calgary's going to let him go.
I don't know, man. Calgary's got a lot of good defensemen they got to protect. But I mean, leaving Giordano, I think if they were to leave Giordano exposed for the sake of it, I'd say that Seattle would definitely grab him, considering the fact that A, he's a lot older, B, he brings a lot of veteran presence, and B, he's had a very good career in the NHL. So I think for him to be a young mentor for these guys coming into Seattle next Wednesday when we do our show, oh my fucking God, you serious right now? We have another trade, but this isn't baseball this time. This time it's what do you call it? So the Chicago Cubs have just traded Jock Peterson to the Atlanta Braves.
For what?
I'm about to find out right now.
Man, Jock Peterson. Oh yeah, 2017 World Series loser, Jock Peterson. Let's see what they get in return for him.
Okay, let's
Relax there, killer. We still won a little year later. Relax.
All right. So here's the deal. It is Jock Peterson to the Atlanta Braves in exchange for first baseman prospect Bryce Bell.
For Bryce Bell, it's like 1-for-1.
Oh,
Yeah, straight up 1-for-1. Bryce Bell for Jock Peterson. Holy fuck, man.
I would think you 1-for-1 on
I
that.
have no words to describe that trade. Whatsoever.
Robbery.
Good for them.
Robbery. I
So-
think the Braves stole him
Yeah.
at gunpoint.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
I know the
especially at
Mets
1-for-1.
had interest in Adam Frazier, but fuck, man. I didn't think that the Dodgers would have the audacity to trade Jock Peterson this early in his contract. Like, holy hell, man.
And the Mets are paying, how much are they paying Francisco Lindor?
Oh,
A lot
God.
of money.
A year.
I know it's a 10-year contract. I know that for a fact. So, actually, technically, his contract would have ended this year. So, Lindor would probably be a Met for 11 more years. So, this
Dang.
year, and then after this year, his next contract kicks in. I think it's something like, I don't know, man. I got to look up his contract. I mean,
Because if the Mets are willing to spend way over the luxury tax, they could have gone after Jock Peterson too.
but they didn't. I guess they didn't want to give up that any young prospects that they might potentially have just given up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, right.
That's also true.
Yep, here it is. It's 10 years, $341 million for Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, so they're paying him roughly 35 million a year.
Well, actually,
And
in
he's
2021,
maybe a little
he'll be
slow in
getting
the beginning of the
40
year, and then he just
43.
kind of just started picking up.
Yeah, because it's 22.3 million base salary, and he gets a $21 million signing bonus next year.
My God.
So it'll be 43.3 million in 2021.
But it's worth it though. He's a great baseball player.
Yeah, definitely.
So, so anyway, so let's move on. So, did anybody hear from this past week about Pierre McGuire getting a job with the Ottawa Senators?
Yep.
Yeah.
My God, what I already forget what role he has. Like,
He's a senior vice president for hockey strategy. I believe it is
Good luck.
for the
for Ottawa.
President of Hockey Development.
Christ. Fucking
His
Pierre.
here.
Good for him.
I'll say
Man,
this.
Doc.
I'll say this. The man was hated by everybody in the Hartford organization. And just from listening to him speak and listening to other people talk about this, his philosophy on hockey has not changed in like 3 decades. And Ottawa, who was just on the up and up, is probably about to be run so much farther and harder into the ground than they were before that they're going to make the Sabres look decently good.
Now, I wouldn't count on a miracle like that for the Sabres to look at least a little bit watchable, but I think I do agree with you that the fact that Ottawa will be awfully run with this hiring of Pierre McGuire.
And I mean, they were just like this past season. They got a little bit better, and then they go ahead and hire somebody whose last NHL gig was with the Hartford Whalers and was hated by everybody in the organization.
Yeah.
Well, I could certainly say for sure that I feel like just in general, no matter how many good prospects the Sens have, I feel like they're going to ruin them. I really strongly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, especially if, like Andy just said, he's in charge of. He's going to be heading up player development.
Without a doubt.
Put up his alley. Perfect for him. Good for him. He had to take the GM job a few years ago, but he decided to keep the contract that he was with. I think it was on NBC, and kept going with it. So
Well,
for him, I don't care what anybody says. That man's got a cup ring.
well, at least we could say one thing for positive, and that is we don't have to hear his annoying ass voice for many years.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God. He made my ears bleed every time he was always talking. He's like, hey, did you see what Crosby did in this shift? Oh, man, look at that diving play by Crosby. He's a very special player.
I like
So we won't
that. That was
have to-
fun for him. He's got nothing knowledge. That just goes to show you.
Mm.
Does his homework.
I used to call him penis head, considering the fact that he looked like a dildo that could go up like Crosby's vagina.
But you're just mad he knows more than you.
Mm.
For
Right.
sure.
Yep. But before we get into our next thing, of course, if you guys want to call in or leave some comments, you're welcome to. 929-205-6099 gets us on the air, and of course we get to talk to you. But next thing we want to talk about is Eichel on the move, because it seems to have quieted down a little bit. But I remember when we ended up doing one of our previous episodes, and I think it was like episode 47 or 48, something like that. We're actually on our fifth. Hey, we actually lasted 50 shows, guys. Today's show number 50.
Jesus Christ. Wasn't that the one we did a couple of weeks ago where it was like, oh, Eichel could go to Vegas or something like that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Well, you see the bullshit story that went behind all this?
Tell us about it.
Well, a trade is inevitable. We all know that. He's getting traded after the expansion draft. He's not going to Seattle. He might go to the Rangers. He might go to the Ducks. By the way, the Ducks are back in the race. And the front runner is supposedly Vegas. And a follow-up story is Ryan Suter and Zach Parise both got bought out by the Minnesota Wild. So they got some dead money to take on for the next 5 seasons. And then in between all that, the Wild saved up themselves about $10 million from just getting rid of both of these guys. And then they're going to use that money that they just bought out with to try to make a trade offer for Jack Eichel. And the prospect that could be thrown in the trade is Marco Rossi.
So Ryan, this is the thing you wanted
For a
to
guy
talk
that
about.
didn't play a single game because of COVID, no thanks.
Well, I don't know what the story is going to be behind all that, but it'll be interesting when it's all said and done. But what do you guys think of that?
I mean, give me Rossi and then give me somebody else, but who else do they
I'm
have?
good. I'm good with so obviously first round picks are being involved. I agree with Trevor, and I agree with the reports that have been coming out about bringing Rossi into the organization. I think that they should throw Jordan Greenway into the conversation as well to throw on our left wing, and then probably some more picks after that, because kind of like Trevor said, they don't really have anybody else outside of Rossi and Greenway. So
Yeah. By the way, we have an update from the Ryan Graves trade. Is that second round pick that Colorado got from New Jersey was the 61st overall pick.
all right.
Was that a third rounder, second rounder?
Second rounder.
It's the Islanders pick.
Yeah, it's a second round pick.
Yeah,
So
late
that's
second.
probably like the last pick in the first round in the equivalent. So
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's got to be a late 2 or an early 3.
it has to be.
But
But
they got a second for him.
without a doubt.
Yeah, it has
But
to be a late second then.
Yep.
it's
But
gonna be-
I am all for Jack Eichel leaving Buffalo. All for it. The only thing right now is, like we've all been saying, it's the neck injury is playing a massive role in how much we're getting back for him. It's
Well,
playing a massive role.
because the last time we heard you say I'm all for a player leaving, that player ended up winning the Stanley Cup.
Who was that? Ryan O'Reilly?
What
Yeah,
player was that?
Mhm.
First off, we weren't even doing this show when Ryan O'Reilly was traded.
Okay.
No, but you had an opinion on him, and I remember you were saying, oh, he was cancerous, he shouldn't be here.
No, he wanted the C, and then they gave it to Jack, and he was pissed, and he lost his passion for the game. And then
I didn't listen. I didn't say. I said that he was cancerous because he didn't want to be here and he wasn't playing as well as we all thought that he would play. So why keep him? And then he went on and won the cup. I don't have a problem with that. It's the same thing as Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner doesn't want to be here, so he's not playing well. He's going to go somewhere else. He's going to play phenomenal. It's the same thing that happens every time.
Can I just?
So by all means, Jack Eichel should leave because here's the thing. Eichel's way more valuable as a trade asset than he is on the ice. Right now, he's consistently injured. consistently. I don't think he's finished one. I think he's only finished one full NHL season with us.
Well, here's the thing.
Everybody keeps saying that he's a one-man show, but then complains that the team doesn't build around him. So it's like, pick your poison. He's either a one-man show and can do it all himself, or he needs a team around him. He consistently has more assists than points, but again, he doesn't finish, or more assists than goals, but he never finishes the season anyways. And he's not leadership material. By no means is he a leader. So he's more valuable. We can get how many players and how many draft picks, which gives us how many prospects or other players via trade. He's way more valuable as a trade asset.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, can you do me a favor, pal?
So,
Can you and Trevor just hold down Ryan for a little bit? Just have him stand in a chair. I'm gonna grab a Sharpie real quick and just color in 2 inches of his face to make a complete unibrow.
I can't hold him down because like we are in different locations, so I cannot do that, and I'm sure Sean can't do that either because he's in a different state.
yeah.
So, but I'll try my best. But I do actually have something to say about Eichel. I wanted him to stick around, but it's clear and obvious that he's not going to play. It's like almost like the Aaron Rodgers Deshaun Watson thing. He's not going to play another game in the same uniform going into the next season, I think.
We actually have some information about Deshaun Watson, which we're going to get to later on the show.
Okay, sure, yeah. But the thing about Eichel is that I am just scared to death about what Kevin Adams, what kind of trade he's going to do for Jack Eichel, because you put Eichel in any other city, I think that team is an instant cup contender, or at least a playoff sleeper. So if you want to give him to Minnesota, that's why I'm so concerned if they want to give him to Minnesota. Like, you're not going to get Eichel for Rossi 1-for-1. Rossi hasn't played a single game of the NHL.
And he has a
COVID.
heart issue because of COVID.
Yes, and he has a lingering heart issue. So Minnesota, absolutely not. But if you trade him to Anaheim and they're not bringing up Zegras or Drysdale in the conversation, Kevin Adams has to hang up the phone. I'm just scared of what he's going to do because he's never been a GM up until last year. And this is kind of a ballsy move to trade your captain. I really just don't see it working out too well. Like, it might just be a Ryan O'Reilly trade all over again. And then on top of that, Reinhart wants to leave. Good God. This team might be going through 10 more years of just sadness and misery.
Well, that's why I said to you earlier, Mr. Howard, is you should at least consider switching teams while you're still young. You're only 20, for God's sakes. I'm 28. I'm almost in my 30s, you fucker.
You know what would happen if I switched teams? 16 years of my life would be wasted because it'll be overshadowed by the misery of the Buffalo Sabres.
Well, here's my advice to you. You could waste 16 years being a Sabres fan, but you could spend the next 85, depending how much far you go, to be dead. You could be a San Jose Sharks fan, and nobody would give a shit.
Okay, so I guess I'm living till I'm 115, but which I really don't have a problem with. But yeah, I don't really feel like being a Sharks fan. No.
San Jose.
Oh gosh,
Dude, what?
I had to, guys.
What the hell?
I had to do the unibrow.
You could have just talked about sports, which is, I thought, the whole
I
point of the
expected
show.
that from Bob, Tom, not you.
Hey, Bobby, you told me, man. I got a perfect face shot, and I was able to enlarge it 300%.
I'm not sure what is going on here, bro.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
My God,
I
Bobby is
literally
losing his
expected
mind.
that from Bob.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
Now that we got that out of the way.
Tom drew a line for a unibrow, and Bobby is just losing it. Sometimes laughter just comes from the most simple things, I guess.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't take a lot.
Oh, man.
Ha
All right.
Second that.
Unibrow. Anthony Davis. That's going to be Ryan's new nickname, Anthony
I
Davis.
don't know who Anthony Davis is.
Or
You
Harry
mean
Brows.
the Anthony Davis who plays with the Lakers?
I don't give a fuck who he is.
No, I said no. I was asking, is that who you mean?
I guess so. He's only no superstar basketball players. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I wasn't asking if you gave a fuck about him. I was asking for confirmation if that was who you were talking about.
Well, who else would I be talking about?
There's probably like a billion other Anthony Davises in this world, bro.
Well, one has a unibrow and one looks like Ryan.
Let me look up Anthony Davis. I bet you he doesn't look a damn thing like Ryan.
Just look at his eyebrows. Ryan, look up in a second. Look up. Look at his
We're making
eyebrows.
food.
Anthony Davis. He looks nothing like him. Are you, okay, first of all,
there is a
Nowhere
clear
near.
space right here.
okay,
Yeah,
first of all, Anthony Davis is African American.
that doesn't mean shit.
Ryan Cahill doesn't have a unibrow.
Yeah, like I said, if you
Their faces are not even similar.
Not even
Here's the
close.
thing. I'll admit it sometimes, but you got to take care of that shit when you go and shave and take care of your face. But for the moment, do not have a unibrow.
oh my God, Tom, that made my night, man. I'm so happy you did that.
Oh man, just simple Microsoft Paint.
Fuck you, man. That should be a shirt.
How can Bobby laugh so hard at Microsoft Paint?
Because I'm the one that made the joke.
Yeah, we know.
Laughing at your own joke.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, anyways, I know one of the things we also want to talk about too, besides Marco Rossi, the Buffalo, was Keith Yandel.
Being bought out by the Florida Panthers because he is outdated.
Yep. And then bye-bye Kevin Miller because he decided to hang it up at the age of 33.
Congrats. Wow. It's a young kid. And, you forgot the other half of this too, is that Brandon Carlo signed a 6-year deal worth $24.5 million, which makes him an annual average value of $4.1 million.
Per year?
Yeah. Oh, and obviously, hold on one second. We actually have a comment right now. Danny DeVito says, since I can't fucking talk, my Eichel to Wild trade was Eichel for Jacob Bryson and a 2021 second for Rossi, Matthew Boldy, Matt Dumba, and a 21st overall pick in this upcoming draft and the 2023 first round pick. That's my Jack to the Wild trade.
Ha ha ha. No. No. Thanks.
I don't know. Why is Jordan Greenway being left out of all these trades?
Because he fucking sucks. How about that?
Okay.
Andy, is your microphone okay?
Who are you talking to?
What?
No, I was gonna say, Andy, is your microphone okay, or is your microphone all screwed up?
Or could you passed out?
I'm fucking talking.
So talk. Jump in.
Talk.
Every time I do, I get interrupted.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, you learn to just talk over Bobby.
No. Fuck Jordan Greenway and his 6 goals. That is legit. You're not going to get that many more pieces for Jack in any fucking trade.
All right. I think that's a fair statement. What do you think, guys, in the comment? For those who are watching the show tonight, which shirt should I get? Should I get Ryan's eyebrows, put a unibrow on it, or Danny DeVito's face?
I'm going to go with who fucking cares by both.
Bobby, I just want to let you know that if you get a shirt with my face on it or attempts to sell one, I'm coming after you for image and likeness.
For what?
For image and likeness, which means you got to pay me for every shirt that you sell.
Federal crime if you don't.
Well, I would trademark it, but then again, I wouldn't be selling it. It'd be.
I will trademark a picture of Ryan's face.
I want to trademark his unibrow. All right.
That makes sense.
I'm going to trademark his unibrow. That's what I'm going to do.
If you trademark my image and likeness, you still have to pay me, right? Just wanted it to be clear.
So, guys, why don't we just talk about how the Sabres are going to be a dynasty in like 25 years, and I'll be stopped watching by then, and then I think by the time 25 years rolls around, I'll be like, what was that hockey team I used to root for? What are they, the Sabres? I guess they've won like 3 cups
Trevor,
now.
this would be a good night for you to expose yourself to a new team. I'm just saying. Yeah, dude, I would.
Why? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Join Andy and be an Avalanche fan.
Well, Andy has like Colorado, and I have the Islanders.
Okay, Bobby, what about this? I'm going to be a full-time KHL viewer. How about we just say fuck the NHL in general? Scrap that. Throw it out the window.
The KHL?
No. I sometimes follow it on my phone a little bit because I love what they do when they make trades. Like, they will literally trade a player to another team for a night in exchange for like some I don't know if it's like a team doctor or something. Like they will trade you a bottle of vodka for a defenseman for a night.
That's funny. I was gonna
Only
say though, it's
Russia.
like, why don't we watch the Chinese hockey league? Play
Oh
for the
God.
play for the Wollongong Titans.
Okay,
No thanks.
that could be labeled as non-PC. The Wong Tong. Is that what you said? Titans.
Wollongong Titans.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah,
beefing
you're
with
about to
each
get canceled.
Yep, and then we can
Bobby's
assign
getting
Sean.
canceled.
Yep,
Right?
cancel me right now, you bitches. Do it, you cowards. Anyway, no. What I was gonna say was, if Sean were to be drafted into the SHL or the CHL, he'd be playing for the Shanghai Tiger Cats.
Ugh.
My all-time favorite hockey team. I've never
That's not even
I've never heard about them before.
what, the Shanghai Tiger Cats.
Yeah,
Nobody
that's
gives
actually
a
a
fuck
thing.
about these Chinese games.
Well, I was gonna say they're not even a real team because I just made that up.
I'm about to say they sound cool.
I don't
so.
care if they're made up or not. Fuck them.
Why, you like the name that much?
No, I just
Talking
want
to
to
me.
stop talking about it.
Yeah, because Chinese hockey would be the most boring thing ever. Goalies would let in like 3 goals on 4 shots.
Why not? Let's make Jackie Chan the commissioner.
Oh God! Okay,
Whoa.
he's gonna get canceled. You are gonna get goodbye, Bobby. Bye.
Here comes the woke mob.
Fuck you, Vultures.
Well, as
Anyway,
I've never seen the show.
so let's talk about the last hockey topic before we get to the whole football thing, because there's a lot to break down. Let's talk about that Duncan Keith trade that happened over the week.
Who cares? I mean, Duncan Keith's like what almost in his 40s.
Well, I can certainly tell you he's older than Sean.
They calling Sean old now?
Yeah, because he admitted it.
I mean, Edmonton just so happened to lose a trade that they were the only team participating.
Bobby
Yeah.
is just throwing out the insults.
Well, I'm good at it, so there you have it. And I don't give
Oh, it's
two
debatable.
shits.
It's
I mean,
debatable.
how many
That
times?
That is highly debatable.
I mean, let's be honest. I think I've made fun of pretty much everybody on the show.
Oh yeah, more than
No,
once.
yeah, I can second that.
Yeah. You haven't made fun of yourself, though. You should try that.
Yeah, you haven't.
Yeah, come on, bro. What you guys say
Some
about yourself?
self-deprecation.
That's easy. I have like no hairline. Look how far back my hairline is. Literally.
And you were making fun of Tom's hairline earlier.
Well, his,
Oh my God.
at least I can admit it. I mean, my hairline's gonna be back here in like 5 years.
Dude, that's why you gotta stop watching like the Mets. You're gonna lose your hair over them.
Right.
Trust me, the Mets are doing me some good right now.
Yeah. I mean, they are the top of the division. You can't take that away. But they are the NFC East of the MLB. That whole division.
Well, the only reason my hairline is so bad right now is because Ryan doesn't shut the fuck up 9 times out of 10.
I'm pretty sure he's dead silent right now.
I know. He's trying to keep his composure. He's like,
He's drinking his Canadian brewed beer. Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
he's ready to just like kill me. I know he is. He's like, you know what? Go ahead. Make that shirt. I dare you.
Yeah, they can sell it on Ryan's merchandise website.
I don't even know if he has a website.
Nah, I do not.
Yet.
I should start one, though. I
Good.
should start selling shirts of my image and likeness.
Well, make me the host and I'll advertise it.
The host of the website?
No, Ryan, the host of your podcast, that rivalry podcast, whatever the hell you had for like 2 episodes that nobody watched.
There's like
Jesus Christ.
there's like 8
Oh my
different
God.
podcasts.
Bro.
So you gotta pick one.
Wait, what? What was the choice?
I said there's like 8 different podcasts that I have a part of my network, and then all the podcasts that I guest on
Yeah,
in addition to that. So you gotta
it's
pick one.
LDG Sports.
For a second, I thought he said LBGQ, whatever.
Yep, that was definitely what I said, Bobby. Yep, 100%.
No. What I was gonna say you said you have what, 7 podcasts, Ryan?
Yeah,
On a
there's about
network.
a handful of
Well,
there's about a handful of them on a network, and then there's all the ones that I guest on, like all the Buffalo Fanatics ones, and
Right. I'm just trying to think. I mean, of all the choices I have in front of me, I don't know which one I'm going to insult between all 8 of your fans. I really don't know.
I mean, I can whip out the analytics right now. I guarantee you it's more viewers than you've ever seen in your life.
He is gonna pull out the Ralph Kruger analytics and just like school you right now, bro.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why Ralph Kruger got fired, because he sucked at his job. Boom!
I know you think that was a dig at me, but like my name's not Ralph Kruger.
All you're doing is roasting Ralph Kruger. I don't know what you're celebrating.
And I
about.
also hate analytics, but
Well, I'm just saying, like, and every aspect is how often do you do your show nowadays? It's like you went rogue for like 3 months. You come back and then you go back rogue again. You start up another podcast. You abandon the other one, and then it's like you start another one again, and you leave the other one behind.
All I know is my show's on kind of a break right now.
That's great.
Well, so I took a break because like the whole COVID thing. I moved from Pennsylvania back to New York, and then my grandmother died, so that was a good reason to take a break. And then that's okay. I'm not jonesing you for that. And then I moved. I came back, did a couple episodes, and then I moved. And I'm recording an episode of The Rivalry this week. I'm doing an episode of the Rust Belt Report with Ryan, aka Sports Rock 2. On Twitter, who does all the rankings and stuff. I think he's with Buffalo Fanatics.
And he's going to talk about how the Colts are going to win the next Super Bowl, like the next 5 Super Bowls in a row, I think.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Well, we're ranking all the sport championship trophies. So I'm having him do that. And then I have a couple other episodes that I'm doing. I've been talking to Chloe Wojtnik. I think that's how you say her name.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Who is that guy? Her name is Chloe. Her name is Chloe.
She was on the Buffalo Sabres blue and gold thing with Kevin Adams when he delivered season tickets to her, whatever. But she's heavy into analytics, and she does her own NHL draft guide. So I was going to talk to her hopefully before the draft sometime next week.
That's great.
About some things. So, I mean, outside of this, Bobby, what do you do?
What do I do?
I thought all the podcasts that you do, I haven't heard you talk about them in a while.
Hang on a second. I can pull it up right now.
Okay, thanks.
Well, he posted a week ago, 3 weeks ago, a couple of videos from a month ago, a couple of videos from 2 months ago. Actually, a few videos from 2 months ago. Yeah, he's posting he's averaging probably 1 post a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Yeah.
There you go. And I have Buffalo After Dark, which I probably have more appearances on here than Ryan ever did.
Oh, well, yeah.
Maybe because you're the host or one of the hosts?
I'm a co-host, but the only reason I'm the host is because Tom could be irresponsible sometimes. So.
Tom, what do you have to say about that?
Tom is irresponsible. I think it's that he's frozen again and his Wi-Fi doesn't work.
Yeah, he's definitely frozen again.
Yeah, I love how Andy and Sean in the background are just like, yes, Bobby and Ryan, just go on, keep talking about yourselves.
Listen, Bobby, you're not wrong though. I definitely don't post as much as I wish that I could post, and as much as I want to. I go through spurts where I'm like, I really need to talk about stuff, and then there's other times where I'm like, there's right now, there's nothing to talk about for the NFL. There's nothing to talk about
except how Carson Wentz is going to be MVP next year.
And Richard
maybe
arrested.
Maybe. Or how Derek Carr is just Vegas just needs to move on. But I mean, I definitely don't post as much as I want to and I need to, but I definitely guest on a shit ton of podcasts all the time. I've been on I was just on Buffalo Fanatics. I do a couple things with I do some hockey stuff with Ranting Ron and Robbie who works with him. I've done Sabres I forgot what it's called, but I was on Austin Shannon's show a couple of times. I've been on a couple of others, so I definitely guest more often than I do my own stuff. But that's also because I was supposed to have 6 other people working with me, and it turned out it was just me.
And he just made the GIF say of Neil Patrick Harris basically shooting himself in the head, and he's typing at the moment. Shut up, Bobby.
What are you talking about, Neil Patrick Harris, the guy from How I Met Your Mother?
Look. Shut up, Bobby.
Or if you want to go really far back, Doogie Howser.
There he goes. He's still typing. There he goes. Yep. Okay.
But anyways, so what's the next topic?
Tom, you have the.
Let's talk about Super Bowl 56, Colts versus Bucks, and the Colts win 71-7.
Well, I actually, I believe.
But a couple of things that we can talk about though. Richard Sherman got arrested is one of the big things that came out this week.
Hilarious.
Heard about that. Oh wow.
So why don't you tell us the details then, Thomas?
Well, he got off. He's not in jail anymore. I can tell you that.
Well, that's good news.
Out.
He's a good guy. I don't see him being the type of guy that would do that. He was a 4.0 student at Stanford.
Yeah.
One of the best cornerbacks in the game, like 7 years ago. I don't see him being the guy that would ever do something like that.
It could, could it possibly be because of maybe some CT problems, some concussion?
Could be, but the NFL would deny that.
Yeah, of course they would. I'm just saying it's possible because this is like the first time I've heard Richard Sherman do anything like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So according to the Seattle Times, what happened is he was arrested Wednesday morning, and this was after he had crashed his black Mercedes and then tried to break into his in-laws' Redmond, Washington residence. So basically, they said he was booked into the King County Jail in Seattle on an investigation of a domestic violence burglary at 6:08 a.m. And then he's also being investigated for drunken driving and a hit and run because apparently he drove into a construction site on Washington Highway 520, struck a concrete barrier, and then he left the scene in his damaged vehicle. And then what happened is that the highway patrol ended up obtaining a warrant to do a blood draw and test to determine his BAC content. So then Richard Sherman was supposed to be in court this morning, and then what happened is that they did let him out on bond, but then there was also a woman who identified herself as Sherman's wife in a 911 call to the King County Sheriff's Office, and this was Tuesday night, and they told and she ended up telling the dispatcher that Sherman had been drinking and threatened to kill himself, and also in a subsequent call she said that Sherman may have been going to her parents' house in Redmond and confirmed she called ahead to tell them.
So
He also assaulted a police officer as well.
Are you for real?
I saw a couple of people post about it, that he had also, when he was drunk and the cops came to get him, that he had assaulted. That was during the drunk driving incident that he had assaulted a police officer.
Oh,
What is going on with him? Like, I saw that he was trending on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I thought he signed with somebody. But then I saw the whole news come through. I'm like, what is going on here?
Right. So also some more to the story on top of it. So what happened is that when the police actually initially made contact with him, they actually talked and joked with Richard Sherman for the first 10 minutes. And then when they announced that he was being arrested, then Sherman attempted to walk away from them. And then on top of that, what happened is the police used a dog to place Richard Sherman under arrest. So Richard Sherman got bit in the leg by a canine.
Well, that's
Damn.
wonderful.
Richard Sherman, so I'm getting this from, in Redmond, Washington, police say that Richard Sherman resisted arrest, and as a result, both he and a police officer sustained minor injuries.
Yep. And he is a free agent, so it'll be interesting to see what happens out of that. But
I don't know if you guys saw what I was doing back here. Bobby, I think you saw it. I think Sean maybe saw it, but there's this funny meme I saw. It's Altuve walking off Chapman, and it says, "Little guy with big stick fucks 8 million New Yorkers."
I don't even know why I'm mad. I'm done with the MLB, so I'm still a Yankee fan, and
He's got to come to the dark side. Sean's got to be a Houston fan. Come to the dark side, man.
Oh,
Wait.
that.
Wait, Sean, I have a question for you, pal.
What?
What does, this is just out of context, what does your resting bitch face look like?
My what?
Your resting bitch face.
A resting. Oh boy. I'm done with it. Oh, I think you just saw it.
Like this.
Can you show it again? Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Who else has a resting bitch face?
Mine. Here's mine.
Here's mine.
Or just this. Tom's.
What's the next topic?
How about Frank Clark? What happened to Frank Clark is beyond me.
Hey, Frank Clark?
Yeah, Frank Clark got handcuffed him as well.
Oh yeah, he got arrested for driving with an unregistered weapon.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, to give you an idea, Chiefs Pro Bowl defensive end Frank Clark has been charged with felony possession of an illegal firearm, and who was arrested in Los Angeles on June 20th is now facing up to 3 years in jail if he's convicted. He was initially pulled over for a traffic violation when officers noticed a bag with using stakeout, and then Clark claimed that the gun was not his and that it belonged to a member of his security team. But in March, Clark and another man by the name of Charles Smith were arrested after officers observed and recovered 2 loaded firearms inside the vehicle during a traffic stop. And the Chiefs have not issued the statement on the warrant arrest. And it's also being said that, like I said, he can face up to 3 years in prison if he's convicted. Talk about dumb.
I guess the video came out about Richard Sherman trying to break down his father-in-law's door. It's definitely him.
Well, I wonder what he was drinking.
Dude, he's like shoulder checking the door like super fast. He's like punching it.
Jesus.
If you guys follow NFL memes _IG on Instagram, they posted it 2 minutes ago.
Interesting. Well, I'm curious what that's gonna look like.
It says video of Richard Sherman trying to break down his father-in-law's door is terrifying. He's moving around like a madman.
He's definitely under some sort of influence.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Hopefully he does okay. I know, what's his face? Where's Danny DeVito? Danny DeVito hasn't been here tonight.
Is there?
Where's Danny DeVito? You know him personally?
Yeah, he's right here.
Who?
Right there. On that camera. Where is Danny DeVito?
The f do you want?
There he is. There he is. What's up?
Nothing. Continue speaking, because I'm starting to fall asleep.
So fall asleep. Close your eyes.
He's going like
Yeah, he's like Danny DeVito / robot.
Go on.
Oh, okay.
Go on, keep going.
Okay, fine. Mark Sanchez left ESPN for Fox Sports as an analyst.
Oh, nice. The butt fumble. Nobody gives a crap.
Nobody cares. Move on.
Sean, what do you think?
Hey, it's all good.
Repeat the question. What do you...
Here, it's all good. Keep going.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Me and Tom got this.
Go, Beaker.
No,
Who
go
was
to
the Fox? Who is announcing for Fox, and why should we care?
Mark Sanchez.
Why?
Nobody cares. Move on.
Yeah.
What is he gonna fucking butt fumble his headset or some shit?
Oh,
I don't fucking care.
Exactly.
Oh, that's why nobody cares.
I don't care.
All right, fine.
He's
Allen
a bum
Robinson.
ass quarterback. He's gonna be a bum ass announcer.
Yep. Allen Robinson and Marcus May both have not reached contracts with their respective teams. So Robinson is not staying with the Chicago Bears, and Marcus May will have to go into the season with a franchise tag.
Maybe because Robinson wants like $22 million a
He's a
year.
good receiver. I mean, can you really blame him?
$22 million fucking dollars for a wide receiver.
He's not getting 22 million, but the minimum should be at least 9 to 11 million.
I wouldn't give $22 million to Jerry Rice in his prime. That's way too much money for a wide receiver.
Why not? He's the GOAT.
Wide receivers get injured all the time. Their job is to catch balls and try to avoid DBs running at full speed. No wide receiver is worth $22 million.
I guess so. And the Washington No Names will have a name in 2022. Would you imagine that? What do you think the name of the team is going to be?
Washington
Shut the
Demon
fuck
Cats.
up.
I don't care. They should stick with Washington football team and keep the uniforms. It looks fucking dope.
I think they're going to be the Washington Demon Cats.
I want the Washington Red Wolves.
I think they should name it the Washington Shut the Fuck Up.
Or you never know. They could always pull out the original Washington Redskins name again to just irritate everybody up and down the.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Why not the Washington Redskins?
Should have done that too.
It's
And I
going
love.
to be Warriors because they think that's offensive to Native Americans as well.
What about the Washington Whiteskins?
Oh God!
How about the
Almost like the
Washington?
Cleveland Indians, how they're being forced to change their name next year.
They're going to be the Cleveland baseball team or the Cleveland Spiders?
I'm gonna say the Spiders. Looks more common.
Well, nobody's making Chicago change their name in the NHL. Nobody's making the Blackhawks change their name.
Well, I guess
Yeah, right.
What the heck?
Or the Kansas City Chiefs?
Who cares? The
With
Blackhawks are.
Arrowhead Stadium.
Literally.
It is what it is.
And then pretty soon, like 20 years down the line, they're going to have to change the Broncos and the Colts because they're offensive to horses.
I think you're misjudging how soon that's probably gonna be.
Yes.
And the Buffalo Bills are probably going to change their name from the Bills to whatever because it's offensive to money.
Yeah, they'll be in 25 years. Same thing
You
with
said it's offensive to money.
In 25 years, everything will be offensive.
Bobby, it doesn't mean Buffalo Dollar Bills. I hope you know that.
Yeah, I know. That's the joke.
Oh, it went right over my head because I didn't think
Yeah.
it made any sense.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah,
Woo!
because in 25 years, everything will be offensive.
Didn't make sense.
Even a bottle of water.
Buffalo bottle of the water.
The Indianapolis Blue team. Yeah, they're going to be like Buffalo Blue and Red team. Indianapolis Blue and White team.
And then
Kansas City Red and Yellow team.
Yep, and the Seahawks are going to be called the Rain City Bitch Pigeons.
Oh, I swear the society is so damn soft. It's not even funny.
Oh, I know. But Sean, I will say I did see this online. So the absolute worst name in all of sports for an arena, it's almost done and ready for the Kraken.
Oh boy.
What is it? Climate Pledge Arena?
Yeah, Amazon bought it. Jeff Bezos just wanted to use it to basically push climate whatever.
Yeah.
Dude.
Let's make it a pledge right here. Ready? Put your hands over your heart. Ready? All right. It goes like this. I climate pledge arena to the arena of the Seattle Kraken.
What was the first part? What was the first part? Are you even speaking English? What was the first part?
I said I played climate pledge arena to the arena of the NHL. Of the
You said
Seattle...
I climate the pledge of the climate arena? I don't even know what you're saying.
No, I said I pledged that climate pledge arena. Fuck it, Trevor. Fuck you.
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Because the word is pledge, and I took climate pledge arena, and I took it over. I pledge of allegiance to.
You said I blah 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 pledge of climate.
Oh man.
God, we're such idiots. It's funny.
Yeah, but they're almost done redoing everything, and they ended up like lowering the floor in that building by like almost 50 feet, so they could get another seating deck in there and everything else.
Wow.
But it's gonna also have 2 scoreboards in there, 2 like triangle-shaped scoreboards one on each end of the ice. So it's
pretty cool.
There won't be a center ice board; it'll be over basically on each side of the blue line.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little different.
I think
Yeah.
I think NHL should go to Houston or Kansas City.
Just move the Coyotes. Don't do another expansion team.
I want the Quebec
the Houston-
to come back.
Bring back to Houston.
Move
Bring in
San
the
Jose and Calgary.
What?
San Jose and Calgary are the 2 most forgettable NHL franchises.
They
Just
are
move
not
them from there.
forgettable. You want to know who's forgettable?
The Dallas Stars.
Other teams.
No. You want to know who's forgettable? The Buffalo Sabres.
No,
No,
literally,
they're just the butt end of so many
you-
jokes.
listen, Bobby. When you think about hockey, is anywhere in the realm of the first 30 teams that you think of, or 30 to 29 teams that you think of, is it San Jose or Calgary?
Or Anaheim or Dallas.
Well,
first off,
the Florida Panthers.
Well, hold on. Let me answer this question. First off, the Sharks are not forgettable. People like Sharks. People like Jaws. And then there's Fire, which is the Calgary Flames.
Well, I'm not asking if people like Sharks and Fire. Obviously, people like Sharks and Fire. I'm asking if you
asking you put a team in San Jose.
When I think about hockey, I think about the California Golden Seals more than I do the San Jose Sharks.
Yes.
The Golden Seals were more forgettable than the San Jose Sharks. I have a better one. How about the Cleveland Barons?
How about the Atlanta Thrashers, baby? Let's go. Bring them back.
Oh
How about the
yeah.
Atlanta
Gosh.
Flames?
The Atlanta
How about
Flames.
Remember that.
You can name more defunct hockey teams than even thinking about San Jose and Calgary. They're two of the most currently forgettable franchises. People forget that they have hockey teams or that they're relevant. Just move them.
You know what's forgettable? Andy's hairline.
Bring in the Houston Arrows. Bring in the Houston Arrows. Yeah.
You can do that.
Well, I mean, you want a
can do that
forgettable
too.
team.
No,
Houston and New Orleans are. I mean, Houston is definitely a next spot for the NHL, but New Orleans should definitely be considered a next or a future location for the
Kansas
NHL.
No, wait a
City.
minute. Now,
Kansas
hold
City
on.
would be cool
No, wait a
too.
minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you think San Jose is forgettable, but yet you want to put it in a city that nobody gives a fuck about.
No one gives a fuck about New Orleans. What are you?
Nobody cares about.
What are you talking about?
What's good in New Orleans?
Oh
What do you mean? What's good in New Orleans?
What?
What is good in New Orleans?
Saints have won
Yo,
the Super Bowl
listen.
at least once.
They have a huge French population, and I don't know if you know this, Bobby, but a lot of French people like hockey and they like the NHL.
Yeah, that's the only fucking reason. And they have crocodiles and hillbillies.
They also have an NFL team with one of the game's best quarterbacks that just recently retired.
Yes, that's a different sport. It's
They have an
football,
NBA.
not hockey.
Right, but you just asked what New Orleans is known for. So I
No, I did not. That's not what I said. I said what's special about New Orleans. I didn't say the Saints. I said what is special that could attract that team to go to New Orleans.
Just
Right,
the overall
they
community.
already, right.
The overall community.
They already have an established one. They already have an established one of four. Actually, two. Does New Orleans have a baseball team?
No.
They had the Zephyrs for a long time.
So
they were a minor
then-
league team.
They have established 2 out of 4 of the professional North American sports in the NBA and the NFL. So you can it's already showing that the professional North American sports teams can thrive there.
Yeah. New Orleans
I don't know why
wasn't a
that's
basketball town until they got a basketball team.
John, how many people remember the Thrashers in Atlanta?
Probably none.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they sucked.
Exactly. So what makes you think?
They never they made the playoffs one time. That was 2007, and they got swept.
So you're at
It's because they
The thing
fucking
is that
suck.
Atlanta's not a hockey town.
Neither is New
You know?
Orleans.
Right. Well, they tried a hockey team in Atlanta 3 different times and it didn't work.
Atlanta's a basketball city.
Right.
Like
in New Orleans.
New Orleans
Was.
wasn't a basketball town
Yeah.
until they moved the Hornets down there.
Well,
They were
also
just a
had
football
the
series.
Utah Jazz used to play in New Orleans also, and then they got moved out to Salt Lake, Utah.
Yeah.
Which actually, Salt Lake City, Utah is a pretty good hockey town, honestly. But
How about this?
I would
You can
love
make
to
the
see
argument
go
that
back towards
Sunrise, Florida is not a fucking hockey town, but they
That's the
still have a
most
team down
forgettable
there.
out of any of them. Florida.
Yeah,
franchises.
Dallas, I don't think is a hockey town. Dallas is a football city or a basketball city, but they have a hockey team there. They're thinking about expanding into Houston or San Antonio.
Well, here's a better idea. If you're gonna do that, move the Coyotes.
Yeah, I would move them
would
out of
like that.
Glendale. Maybe move them into actual Phoenix first because, I mean, who goes to games in Glendale? You'd rather go to a game in a bigger city like Phoenix, and if that doesn't work, you can move them somewhere else.
Well, the weird thing is they're not
They
even
live in
going to move
Tempe,
into
I believe.
Phoenix. They're going to move to
Then they
Mesa,
play in
Arizona.
Glendale. Don't they play in Glendale?
Pretty
Yeah.
sure it's Tempe.
Yeah, right next door to where the Arizona Cardinals play.
Or is it the Cardinals that play in Glendale? I can never keep
Yeah,
track.
both
I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, State
but
Farm,
I'm
State
just
Farm
saying,
Stadium, and
Yeah,
and
the Cardinals don't even have their own
Arizona.
stadium. They play in a college dome.
Neither do the Carolina Hurricanes. They don't have their own stadium.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Carolina.
Pete Carino was
Yeah,
built for the Hurricanes.
yeah. No, I was talking about like you can move them to bigger cities and see what happens.
Mhm.
But I mean, like I think New Orleans, with a lot of the French population, they really weren't a basketball city until they moved a team down there, and now they rally around the Pelicans. Like if you move the hockey team down there, I think it would be very similar. Maybe move a team into Wisconsin. What about Green Bay? So you get like a Wisconsin-Minnesota rivalry.
Right, or
I mean,
Or
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee,
Milwaukee would be
Milwaukee's
good.
got brand new
Yeah.
arena.
especially because Milwaukee already has an AHL team.
Yeah,
would you-
the Admirals.
Yep.
Sean, would you move an NHL team to New Orleans?
Maybe, I don't know. Depends on the interest down there.
I mean, they rally behind their sports teams. It wouldn't surprise me if they would rally around a hockey team.
I would not be surprised. I think it would be a big dumpster fire if they moved the team to New Orleans.
Or why don't they move San Jose to like closer to San Francisco? See
San
what
Jose
happens.
is not, the San Jose Sharks are not moving. They have a really cool name. They have a really cool set. They have a really cool pretty much everything.
Yeah,
They're
the arena,
perfectly
even
fine
though
where
it's
they are.
older, they've
There's no
upgraded.
reason to move the Sharks.
So I mean, they're in good shape.
I'm just stating a fact.
I mean, California, other than like Los Angeles, there's not really another hockey city there.
How about Nashville?
Nashville's not in
Nashville's done really
California.
well, actually.
I'm saying Nashville. I know it's not in California, but I'm talking about as like an aspect of moving the Predators to an actual hockey city somewhere like in Canada, because there's only 7 in the entire damn league. There needs to be more Canadian teams.
Well, if you
I
watch
think
the
there need to be more Canadian
playoffs, Nashville sells out. They have like the pregame lot parties and they throw the catfish on the ice. I think they're fine where they are.
Nashville's absolutely fine. I agree with Trevor there. I don't agree with needing more. In fact, they got rid of teams in Canada because there's too many.
Yeah, where else would you put? What other city is there to put a team? Like
Quebec
Saskatchewan?
Quebec City.
Saskatchewan, Quebec City.
No, why? But that doesn't. So listen, I'm all for bringing back the Nordiques, but when you geographically look at it, first off, Montreal and Ottawa are like next door neighbors. You throw the Nordiques back into the mix, and you now have literally 3 teams that are all playing right on top of each other. Not to mention that you then have. So you would have 2 in Quebec. You'd have Quebec and Montreal in Quebec. You have Ottawa and Toronto in Ontario. And people have been talking about bringing NHL teams an NHL team to Hamilton, which is another one.
Halifax. Halifax, you have like Boston, Montreal, Ottawa, and like Buffalo, all in that kind of region. I don't think a team in Halifax would work either.
How about
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to put another team in Canada because there's no room, and also 95% of the Canadian population lives along the Canada-U.S. border. So they're either fans of the teams that are in those bigger cities, or they're fans of U.S. teams.
Well, I mean, the Quebec Nordiques way back in the 90s before they moved to Colorado, I mean, they had the fan base. It's just that their owners couldn't afford anything anymore. They lost money in terms of how they were investing. And plus, they didn't have a modern arena to actually compete. Now, what happens, I mean, Quebec City with the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, they sell out a brand new 20,000 seat arena for junior hockey. There's a market there.
Yeah.
And I think that's like your only argument there. Quebec. Outside of Quebec City, there's no other. I mean, Saskatoon, I don't think would draw any.
They would.
I don't think they draw any fans. You can't go farther west than Vancouver. You certainly can't go up north even more.
Right.
You're not going to get any fans up there. So
you've already got 2 Alberta teams,
and it's the same thing as why Hartford will never be back in the league either, because Hartford would be right on top of Boston. We already know how much the East Coast is already just too overly populated with NHL teams, which is why they're probably never going to expand out here ever again.
Right, and actually,
it wouldn't make sense. By all
New York City.
By all means, I would love to have Hartford and Quebec back in the conversation, but there's no way that another team in Canada would make sense.
Why? All you have to do is just move the Coyotes, because the Coyotes
are good.
the Coyotes and the Panthers, even the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes just got an extension to stay in Raleigh, so they're not going anywhere. How about the Panthers and the Coyotes? The Coyotes are the NHL's life support. They're a dying hamster on a hamster wheel that's just on its last breath. They literally have like no attendance, no money. The only benefit they have going for them are those kick-ass Kachina jerseys and Austin Matthews. Other than that, the Coyotes are a butt fuck of what the league is supposed to be
Pretty sure
representing.
Austin Matthews is the Toronto Maple Leaf, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Arizona shouldn't be moved or shouldn't be relocated somewhere else. But again, it goes back to where out. First off, Calgary is so sparsely populated that Calgary's lucky that Calgary's lucky that Canada only has 7 NHL teams for people to pick from. They got rid of Quebec because it's right on top of Montreal, which is right on top of Ottawa, which is right on top of Toronto. You have Vancouver. There's nothing between Vancouver and Calgary. Winnipeg is only back because people didn't want hockey in Atlanta. Because there's nobody out in Winnipeg either. So I'm not saying that there shouldn't be more hockey teams in Canada. I'm saying it doesn't make sense because where do you put them?
Wait, nobody out in Winnipeg? I mean, they sell out that building every single damn night every season. And yeah, I mean, it only has like 15,000 in there, but they consistently sell it out regardless if they suck or if they're playing good.
I'm saying Winnipeg I don't know off the top of my head what province or territory.
Manitoba.
Manitoba.
What was that?
It's Manitoba.
So it's in Manitoba, but again, most of 95% of the Canadian population lives along the U.S.-Canada border. And Winnipeg and Calgary are not on the U.S.-Canada border.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't put a team in Victoria either, the capital of British Columbia, because it's literally right next to Vancouver. You can't put a team in Halifax, so that's pretty much on top of Boston. And
you have,
yeah,
it comes down to you have 7 big cities in Canada, and they all have NHL teams.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with putting a team in Quebec City. There really isn't.
Right.
It's the Canadian dollar is terrible. It also comes down to the Canadian dollar, which is extremely weak right now, and the league cannot afford it. They don't have the proper owners. They have an arena where they can put a team in Quebec City.
Yeah.
They have the arena to do it, but they just refuse to acknowledge it. And plus, again, just what I was saying earlier, there's no fucking reason for the Coyotes to be in the league. None.
No, I agree with you on that one. I'm just saying, though, Quebec City is right on top of where the Canadians are, which is right on top of where the Senators are. So it's the league in the modern era is not going to put 3 NHL teams right on top of each other when they're trying to expand the game of hockey.
What about this, though?
The NHL will put a team in China before they put a team in Quebec City.
That will never
How about
happen.
this? Since we're on the topic of relocating and expansion teams, what about the NFL expanding into Mexico, like Mexico City?
No.
Why?
Because it's too small of a state and there's not enough room over there.
I'm pretty sure Mexico's a country, not a state.
Mexico is a country. You said New Mexico, and New Mexico is a state, and it would not work because they have to go over the border of Mexico to do that.
Couple of things, Bobby. I never said New Mexico. I said Mexico City.
Mexico City.
Or Tijuana. You get a little. Well, if the Chargers were still playing there, you'd have a little rivalry between Tijuana and San Diego. That'd be pretty cool. But why not the NFL expanding into Mexico? They had a team in Oakland for 3 decades, and I hear all this bullshit about it's not as safe in Mexico, but you kept the team in Oakland for 30 years.
Dude, if you put a team in Mexico, I'm almost certain the people that will buy a bottle of water there will get sick. I'm guaranteeing you that.
What the fuck does that mean?
My brother got sick in Mexico from just drinking the water. Trust me.
Dude, that's why they would drink the tequila down there, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They'll have a tough time selling water. People don't drink tequila as often in Mexico than they do here.
That might be up for debate, but
either way, then Bobby, you said that you shouldn't. What did you say? They shouldn't put a team over the border because then teams would have to go over the border.
Yeah, if you're gonna put an NFL team in Mexico, you have to go
Well,
over the border.
Yeah, they do that for the NHL and the MLB.
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
the
I know,
NBA.
but that's a different story. There's no MLB team in Mexico, and if you put two teams like in the NHL, hockey is a Canadian sport as well as an American sport, along with a British sport. But my point being is that there's already 7 expansive teams already in the NHL. It makes sense. It's their sport. In Mexico, football is not their primary sport.
but do you remember the Patriots Raiders game in Mexico City? That they were tailgating outside that stadium for like 5 hours before the game, and it was a complete sellout crowd.
Right.
Yeah,
the
because
games, the international games. Now, I don't think that they should expand to like London. I don't think that
No.
they should go overseas. I think that's too much of a time difference. But like, if you were to expand the NFL to Mexico or to Canada, like there's no legitimate reasoning to say, hey, we're not going to expand to another country because you have to cross the border when the other 3 out of the 4 major sports, North American sports leagues already do that.
Right? Is Mexico City in Central Time or Mountain Time?
Mountain Time.
So they would get all the 4:25 games.
Yeah, same
That
difference.
would work.
Yeah.
That would work.
In fact, here we go. We got a picture on the screen. That's the new building in Quebec City with selling out just for junior hockey.
Yeah, that is nice.
Wow.
I thought that was St. Louis for a second, but
Yeah, no, almost 19,000 seats in that place. And it's got one of the steepest upper decks you will find on any building, to the point where basically they had to put railings in every single row so you wouldn't fall forward.
it's awesome.
I mean, we're not saying that they wouldn't, but I mean, Quebec Major Juniors and OHL have become a lot bigger from the last time that they had a team in Quebec. A, B, again, it just goes back to geographic. It's not that they don't have the facilities for it; they clearly do.
Yep.
But geographically, it doesn't make sense in the modern NHL to put 3 to 4 NHL teams right on top of one.
Look at that arena right there. You would not put the Quebec Nordiques in there?
Yeah, that's the
No.
building they purposely built because they wanted the NHL.
I mean, they honestly could do it, but will the NHL do it? No. For
Yeah.
whatever reason, no.
Well, Gary Bettman would have to probably be dead first, but
And
that's what I'm saying. Like, I keep saying, like, I'm not against bringing back the Nordiques. Same thing as I'm not against bringing back Hartford, but they're never going to bring back Hartford because Boston's right there and the Atlantic is too congested, and they're not going to put a 4th NHL team on top of like 3 to 4 other NHL teams.
Look, I'm going to just give you a quick rundown. I've been to Hartford, and I see why they moved the Whalers.
the
It's
arena's
too-
dumb.
Didn't
Hartford
they
is-
play in like a strip mall or some shit? What was
I don't
the
know.
Civic
Yeah,
Center?
it's a mall.
Wasn't the Civic Center a part of the mall?
I don't
so
remember.
it is.
They played an arena. The Hartford Wolfpack played in an arena called the XL Center, which, see, that's what I never understood. You're able to have an AHL team in Hartford, but you won't have a pro team there.
Because it's the AHL. It's the minors.
Right. I mean, they renovated the old Civic Center.
Which is
XL
different than Boston. The AHL, which is different than Boston, which is an original 6th
Well, yeah, of
NHL.
course. It's an original 6 franchise. They get treated like one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're not
And
going to put
It's also a hockey
in
town.
the AHL is different than.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the AHL, like Trevor, you were saying it's the AHL versus the
Right.
NHL.
Like, and
mean-
Boston has always been a hockey town. New York's always been a hockey town. Detroit, Toronto, all the rest of the original 6, Philly, like they're all hockey towns. They have been for decades now. But like when Hartford was in there, they were rivals with Boston for a long time back in the day. But then,
What
I
the
mean-
fuck is going on? Are those deer having sex?
that's a statue they got outside their new arena.
and I don't know if that's a deer.
That bronze deer is like, I love you, fuck
Is
me.
that a sheep?
I think that's a donkey.
No, it's a deer. Look at it. It's got hooves. It's got a tail. It's a white-tailed deer. It's upside down.
That looks nothing like a deer.
Look at it. Look, Trevor, go look at a white-tailed deer and look at that statue. You
Yeah,
tell me,
I know. I know what a deer looks like, Bobby.
That
I've
deer is
gone
looking at its own
hunting a couple
reflection.
times in my life.
You would tell me that would look like a cow.
That doesn't look like a fucking deer.
Let's ask Andy. Andy, do you think those are two deer having sex, or do you think it's just like,
Hey, they're standing on top of each other. They're not having sex.
well, that deer sure as hell looks comfortable.
All I'm saying is throwing Quebec into Quebec City is like putting an NHL team in Rochester.
I would do that.
Well, depending on what the Sabres do, they might end up having to play in Rochester for a couple of years if the Quebec Center gets that big renovation.
Good.
Can we just destroy Quebec Center? Because honestly, it's one of the worst stadiums I've ever been to.
I mean, it would make sense for everything that happened with the Bills in changing what do you call it? Committing to keeping in Orchard Park all that land that Pagula is supposedly buying up. It makes sense that the next logical step would that they're either going to put in a convention center or a new Sabres arena and knock down the old one.
Another interesting thing that came out this week is Washington D.C. developer Douglas Jamal, who's been doing a lot of stuff
again
for the last few years.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's planning on building a convention center.
But you sell off the arena, which is attached to Harbor Center. You're bringing in more money by keeping it commercial. Build a new state of the art NHL arena where Pagula is buying up all the land.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
I mean,
I think when the Buffalo Bandits sell out more tickets than the Sabres, I think that's a wake-up call that the Pagulas need to be run out of town.
Well, one of the things I kind of thought about initially was, I mean, if they build a brand new arena.
I mean, I love the Bandits.
Yeah, they could tear down.
I love the atmosphere at the Bandits games. I love lacrosse, and they have the most diehard fans. But man, come on.
Yeah, as I was saying, I have a very strong opinion on certain things, and I'm just spreading around in my room.
Bobby, what are you doing?
Look up, asshole!
Dude, I think Tom did that like an hour ago.
Yeah, but so what? It's still funny to me.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we've moved on to other things in the real world.
Yep.
Right.
I did promise Trevor the Deshaun Watson to the Eagles thing that's been going around lately.
No.
Yeah, I have that right here. You want to hear it? Here we go.
Why would they get rid of They just threw in their rookie quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
Well, this is according to Adam Schefter and Mike Tannenbaum. Here we go.
Wow.
Yeah, so Adam Schefter says that the Eagles are more equipped than any other team in the NFL right now to land Pro Bowl quarterback Deshaun Watson. He also says that he assumes that Watson's legal situation will get resolved, and when it does, quote, the Eagles will be waiting.
Bobby, Schefter wants clicks. Schefter wants clicks. That's the only reason why he made that shit article.
Tell me, explain how much sense it makes to trade away, to not try and resolve things with Carson Wentz, to draft and move on to the rookie quarterback that you just drafted, just to turn around and draft a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now.
Exactly. You just answered your question. You just answered
Eagles have no trade bait whatsoever. Their receivers suck. Their defense sucks. Their running backs suck. Who are they going to trade for Deshaun Watson?
I don't know. Next year's first round pick.
Then
I think it's going to take more than next year's.
Yeah,
Bill O'Brien isn't running the operation anymore.
No,
it's going to take more than next year's first round pick.
And if you give away more than one first rounder with that shit team you already have, Deshaun Watson's not going to turn shit into gold. It just won't happen. Like, that team will be in shambles for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and Mike Tannenbaum, of all people, also says that it's an open secret, in quotation, in the league circles that the Eagles will aggressively pursue Deshaun Watson if his legal situation gets resolved. So it's not just Schefter, it's also Tannenbaum. Both of these people are saying the same fucking thing. They're both saying that when the whole thing is situated out with Deshaun Watson and his sexual allegations going on, as soon as he's cleared, the Eagles are trading for him right away. Because you know what it tells me? It tells me that the Eagles are not confident in Jalen Hurts. And one of my groomsmen, who's a diehard Eagles fan, and I asked him about this, and he said to me, quote, Jalen Hurts sucks. He is not a franchise quarterback. And I would much rather trade for Deshaun Watson or Sam Darnold in this case than having to keep Jalen Hurts around.
I mean, there are just a couple of things there. It's just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, The Eagles drafted him in the second round. Yeah, last year was his rookie year. You can't just say that he sucks. Like Andrew Luck in his rookie year would throw interceptions nonstop. Colts didn't give up on him. They didn't trade him away. Like, yeah, he sucked because he's a fucking rookie second round quarterback. Of course, he's not going to play like Tom Brady in his first year. Second of all, we're like right during this time after the draft, before OTAs, where nothing else is going on. So Schefter and all these other morons are making all these clickbait articles just to make money. There's nothing going on in the NFL right now. So Schefter's going to say, I could get a lot of clicks from making up a bunch of BS rumors like this. If there's a place where Deshaun Watson would thrive, it would be Denver. And if
He's
not
not going
Deshaun
to.
Watson, if not Watson, then absolutely Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I can certainly tell you that Deshaun Watson is not staying with the Texans. He does not want to be there.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, he played his final snap for the Texans in Week 17. No doubt about it.
Yeah, exactly. So why would you? Now, here's my question: what makes you think that he would not go to the Eagles, but yet he's willing to stay with the Texans, just based off?
No, I don't think he's going to stay with the Texans, and I don't think they're going to get. And they're not going to. The Eagles are not just going to put Jalen Hurts on the back burner either, because he was a rookie last year, second rounder. Work with him in OTAs, see what you got, because for all we know, it could be 2-3 years of development, and then he could be a solid quarterback. He's a second round pick. He's not. I mean, I don't think drafting him. Howie Roseman had a plan. He knew that Wentz was injury prone, so he went out and got Jalen Hurts and shipped away Wentz for, what was it, two second round picks. There was a second rounder and a conditional second that could turn into a first if the Colts make the playoffs this year. But I don't see him drafting Jalen Hurts just to trade him away. And I mean, that's just a total waste of a second round pick.
So how do you explain the whole Josh Rosen situation?
Josh Rosen wasn't a second round pick. Josh Rosen was a first rounder that absolutely sucked. Like, Jalen Hurts has way more promise than Rosen ever had.
Yeah, but Josh Rosen was a first round pick, 10th overall, and then immediately the Cardinals barely gave him a chance, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna get rid of Josh Rosen. Let's bring in Kyler Murray."
Yeah, what part of that story are you leaving out though, Bobby?
My point is the Eagles.
No. Not what's your point. I said, what part of that story are you leaving out? You're leaving out the part where the GM changed and the coach changed, and that's not their pick.
Okay, this shit happens all the time. I mean, how many quarterbacks? I mean, excuse me, not quarterbacks. How many coaches have the Browns had for the last 20 fucking years and have to stick with their quarterbacks?
They never stuck with their quarterbacks over the last 20 years. They had like 18 different starting QBs over the last 22 years.
Look at the Browns now with Baker Mayfield. They had freaking Freddie Kitchens, and then he got fired, and then they brought in Kevin Stefanski. That's two quarterbacks, and Baker Mayfield had both those quarterbacks. Look at the Buffalo Sabres.
They're not. Baker Mayfield was also a first overall pick. They're not just going to trade him away.
And they also had this. And they also had the same GM. Matthew Berry was the same GM for Kevin Stefanski and Freddie Kitchens.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is teams make bold moves all the time. I'm just saying this right now. The Eagles would be ridiculously stupid to not trade for Deshaun Watson, specifically where he's at now.
They don't have anything to trade.
We're not necessarily disagreeing.
Yeah.
We're just saying, in reality, they have nothing to trade, and there's nothing. I mean, Watson doesn't get a choice, right? Like, I don't think he has any no move, no trade or whatever into his contracts. Like, he doesn't get a choice. But what do the Eagles have to offer? Which is nothing.
Nothing.
How about Jalen?
You know what teams should go after Watson or Rodgers? How about the Washington football team?
No. Why the fuck would Washington get Deshaun Watson?
Because Heineke hasn't proven a damn thing. And who was the other guy? Fitzpatrick, who's like 50,000 years old?
Why don't they just draft another quarterback?
Because they already tried that with Haskins, and he sucked dick.
Now, I don't think that Haskins is bad. It's the same situation as with Rosen. Haskins got drafted, and then they brought in a new GM and a new coach, so they got rid of him.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a more likely scenario than him going to the Eagles, where they had a rookie quarterback that they benched Wentz, their franchise guy from 2016, to bring in a rookie second-round draft pick. They're not moving anything out of the quarterback position unless he either A, has like a life or like a career-ending freaking like knee injury or something at the end of the year, or he's just the worst quarterback prospect in the history of the NFL, I don't think they're getting rid of Jalen Hurts in the next 5 years.
No, the Eagles, and that's the thing too, is he's not a franchise quarterback. Deshaun Watson is. So why would you gamble?
Not yet. It's a little. I think that's a little premature. He's a second-round rookie quarterback last year.
Who the fuck cares? Deshaun Watson has a lot more success in his career right now than Jalen Hurts was. And I know that's
whoa. So Bobby, by your measure, the Buffalo Bills should go trade for Aaron Rodgers right now because Aaron Rodgers has done more in his career than Josh Allen.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I would. I would totally do that.
What? No way.
Why would you?
No way. Would you ever?
Yeah, Bobby. Listen, Bobby's just saying this just to soak the flames. He doesn't actually believe it.
Do it. Why would you not trade for a future Hall of Famer?
Fucking kidding me? You're trading away Josh Allen for 37-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Because I want more than one Lombardi trophy, and Aaron Rodgers only has one. As good as Aaron Rodgers is, he only ever brought one Super Bowl to Green Bay.
And way too many to count heartbreaking losses in the championship round.
Well, that's not his fault.
It was partially his fault. Did you watch the game against the Tampa Bay Bucks?
Yeah, I also saw the one against the Seattle Seahawks. I also saw the one
where he was throwing interceptions when they were up by 19 points.
Yeah, and I also saw the one against the Atlanta Falcons. I also saw the one against the Arizona Cardinals. I also saw the one from the year after that and the year after that.
And the loss when they went 15-1 and lost to the Giants in 2012.
Yeah, compared to what the Buffalo Bills have been doing the last 20 years, compared to what Aaron Rodgers has done for the last 20 years, yeah, that statistic can kiss my ass. I would no doubt in my mind take Aaron Rodgers if I had the chance right now.
So you're saying trade 1-for-1 Josh Allen for Aaron Rodgers right now, you would pull the trigger?
Well, I wouldn't do 1-for-1. I would throw in a few assets.
So you're giving Josh Allen to the Green Bay Packers. They are automatic Super Bowl contenders for the next 8 or 9 years.
So with the Buffalo
not only that, you're throwing in. So what are these assets that you're throwing in? Because what you're saying is we're going to get Aaron Rodgers, but also get rid of probably some of the weapons that Aaron Rodgers would use when he got here to get Aaron Rodgers. And then all of a sudden he's in the same situation he was in Green Bay, and we're no farther than Green Bay ever got.
Well, Green Bay and Buffalo are completely different directions right now, and
not to mention
how are they? Whoa! How are they in different directions? They both made their respective NFC and AFC championship. That's
what are you bitching about? They both made it to the conference championship. What are you?
Yeah, Josh Allen's also like 24 and has such a high ceiling of development. He hasn't even hit the glass ceiling yet.
Of course not. What I'm saying is that in comparison right now with Aaron Rodgers, let me ask you this. If Aaron Rodgers were 23 years old, okay, and Josh Allen is at his
we can't even get into this now. We can't, because Aaron Rodgers is not 23. He's fucking 37. We can't even make that comparison. Well, Aaron Rodgers also sat the bench to Brett Favre. They completely hated each other. They could not stand each other. The fact that Brett Favre hated him because he drafted a quarterback and they're going to run him out of town. So Rodgers sat behind a Hall of Fame quarterback and Brett Favre for 3 years. Allen
sat behind Tyrod Taylor and Nathan Peterman.
He didn't sit behind anyone with value or talent at all. Josh Allen, I think I'm not saying he's going to be as great as Aaron Rodgers, but if you made the trade right now, 36-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who's going to retire in 3 years, to Josh Allen going to Green Bay, who's going to play there for the next 12 years, I think the Bills would get totally ripped off, and they wouldn't win shit.
Right. They probably would be if they were to do it right now, but it's never going to happen, so it's kind of irrelevant. But the point I'm trying to make is if you had the ability right now, if you're the Buffalo Bills and you wanted to go out and win a Super Bowl now, you would get Aaron Rodgers because he's been to the playoffs. He's been to the conference championship for 5 years in a row. And on top of all that, he has experience in the playoffs. And he's the locker room guy that a lot of people look up to. Hell, even Devontae Adams said the same thing. He said, wherever Aaron goes, I go. Same thing with Brady. Where Brady goes, Gronk goes.
No, well, when was the last time Aaron Rodgers made a Super Bowl? 2011. 2011. And how many times has he choked in big games in the NFC Championship?
more times than he's been to the Super Bowl.
So I don't understand how he would win you guys a Super Bowl and especially at 37 years old. I just don't understand that.
Also, Allen, who's literally almost 2 decades younger than him, is going to give us more chances and opportunities to win multiple championships than. I mean, you're right. Aaron Rodgers probably wins us a Super Bowl tomorrow. Not disagreeing with that.
You just answered my question.
I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm disagreeing with is the fact that I want, as I'm sure everybody else here that's a Bills fan wants, more than one Super Bowl. We want to go 4 back-to-back and make up for what happened. It's never going to happen, but we'd all love for that to happen. Versus Aaron Rodgers, who's going to give us one and then retire.
Sean, what would you do in this situation?
If I were to trade Josh Allen, you better believe I want assets back. I want major assets back. Honestly, if I'm looking long term, I don't do the deal.
Yeah, what about you, Sean?
I don't think 36-year-old Aaron Rodgers is going to cut it. He's not even going to come close.
Yeah. What about you, Mr. O'Malley? What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't trade Josh Allen for any reason.
No, that's just silly.
I could not do it. Long term wise, no. The fact that Josh Allen brought the team to the AFC Championship and he's still nowhere near his prime, I wouldn't take that chance. Even I don't care if Aaron Rodgers already got a Super Bowl. I don't care if he's got the experience in the big game. I would not take that chance.
Right, and look at the seasons Josh Allen has played so far. Only basically one time he's not been in the playoffs. That was year 2 when we ended up going 6-10 because we had virtually everybody's on the line hurt. So, I mean, the fact that he's been to 2 wild card games and he ended up losing twice, and now he ended up finally breaking through and goes to the AFC Championship game where we ended up losing to a better Kansas City team. He's got such a high ceiling, and he's proving every single person wrong that was doubting him. I love it.
Yeah, it would just be complete nonsense if you to trade Josh Allen now.
And there's no quarterback that I trade for. I think, Bob, you were going to say earlier, I thought I saw you were going to say it or ask, would you trade for Tom Brady? And the answer is no. I'm not trading for Tom Brady. There's nobody. Listen, you could be like, oh, well, like, what about Baker Mayfield or what about Joe Burrow? Fine, we can trade for them, but they're going to sit behind Josh Allen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like Mitch Trubisky of the same draft class, taken higher, is sitting behind Josh Allen right now.
And he will be back as a starter for another team in the next 2-3 years. I guarantee you, just from watching Josh Allen play.
And being coached by Ken Dorsey.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I would trade a first round pick. I would trade a first rounder and Carson Wentz away to nobody. No. I'd ship away a first round pick and Carson Wentz to bring back Andrew Luck in a heartbeat because I know that he would still have the same stuff even at 32 years old.
Well, before we go, we've got a couple of comments that came in, and actually, Luffy decided to actually jump in on the chat. So first he said, talk about something exciting. You're all boring. Well, we've actually had a pretty interesting show today.
Well, you missed the first half, so you have no room to talk.
Yeah, then he told me to wake up, which I've been up the entire time. So, I mean, unless Luffy's been stoned the entire time.
Well, Danny DeVito over here is fucking sleeping. He's like, can you just talk about something else?
And then basically, Luffy also said Aaron Rodgers is a whining bitch. And then he also said, are you actually talking about trading Josh? What a dumb idea.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So,
the fact that, well, in this scenario, though, I mean, I don't even know anymore. But
yeah, but the other scenario was 23-year-old Aaron Rodgers, which you can't trade Josh Allen because Josh Allen's not even born yet,
and he wasn't even a starter at 23 years old.
Well, whatever. Yeah. It's worth taking the shot at. I mean, would you trade 27-year-old Dominic Hasek even though he was playing behind Manny Belfour?
We're talking about hockey now?
I'm just saying in comparison.
Would
you do it at that time?
If I were to trade Dominic Hasek because he's 20, I don't know where you're going with this, Bobby.
Point is that never mind. But anyway, so my point is that Deshaun Watson to me would be a huge upgrade for the Eagles if they were to trade for him right now.
Oh yeah, and again we agree. We agree. We're
Oh,
just saying,
and,
in reality, the Eagles couldn't do this if they offered up their entire team for Deshaun Watson.
Oh, and actually, Bobby, Adam wanted to make this comment also. He said, the fact that you're suggesting it makes you a total dumbass bandwagoner.
Wait a minute. Would you trade Sam Darnold tomorrow for Deshaun Watson?
Anybody with a fucking brain would.
Exactly. Why would you not do it?
Because
Why
it's
would you-
because
You
it's
just-
Sam Darnold versus Josh Allen. They're not.
What you're
doing-
saying
No,
is-
I said no. I said Sam Darnold versus Deshaun Watson. That's what
Right.
I said.
Right, but you're
Okay.
comparing it. You're comparing it to our conversation that we just had.
This is the
about
same
Josh
fucking
Allen.
argument.
No, it
as
isn't.
with
No, it is
Jalen
not.
Hurts.
Those are two very different atmospheres. You said, would you trade Sam Darnold for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. That
Yeah,
is
it's the
ridiculous.
same thing as if, like, would you trade Jalen Hurts for Deshaun Watson, or would you trade for Deshaun Watson to get rid of Jalen Hurts?
What are you
Right.
talking about?
And Bobby,
Same idea.
Bobby, we're not saying that the Eagles like shouldn't. We're not saying, like, obviously if I'm the GM of the Eagles and I can trade for Deshaun Watson, I would. The problem is they don't have the assets to do it.
Nobody's trading Jalen Hurts for Deshaun Watson. That's never going to happen. In
You're
the history of the world.
trading picks and other assets for Deshaun Watson, but you're not trading your rookie quarterback to do it.
No.
But Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold are not even in the same. That's not the that can't not even is it not. It can't be the same conversation as do you trade Josh Allen
You're
for
right.
Aaron Rodgers?
You're right. But I'm just saying.
But that's what we've been saying the whole time.
Well, Adam just threw in one other comment, too. He basically said he would trade him for a free lunch. And then, Bobby, he told you definitely need to stop while you're ahead. You sound like a moron right now.
Okay.
On that note, actually, before we wrap up, we've gone almost 2 hours. Anyone have any other points they want to get in before we close up?
Yeah.
Trade Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
I got one. The Milwaukee Bucks are winning in 7.
Don't care.
Trade Jack
I'll
Eichel.
take the Suns in 7, actually. You know, I'll go against you on that one because I think that the Suns are a little more of a complete team. But, I mean, I definitely want to see CP3 get the ring finally. I mean, he deserves that. He's been a warrior for a long time. But I'll tell you one thing, though. Giannis Antetokounmpo and that team, Milwaukee's got a deep team for a long time.
Hey,
Oh, definitely.
Hey, Tom. Trade Jack Eichel.
Maybe.
Yeah, if we had a competent GM, I'd be way more confident instead of some guy that the Bagulas found, not even looking outside the organization for. I feel way more comfortable if we had a president of hockey ops and a GM that actually knew what the fuck he was doing.
Well,
100% agreed.
Well, then you guys wouldn't be singing and being hunky dory about Don Granato right now.
Who the fuck said I was hunky dory about Don Granato right now?
Listen, I like Kevin Adams. I'll give Trevor the benefit of the doubt in saying that
you like
Adams
anybody that works for the team.
Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that Adams doesn't have the experience of dealing with other general managers and dealing with other individuals of professional sports teams and trading with people. What I will say, though, from a talent evaluation perspective, is his time with the Harbor Center development camps gives him that talent evaluation credential that GMs, I mean, that's 90-something% of their job is evaluating talent. So
and you know what? Fine. But give him a president of hockey operations, too, to help him out.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm usually against.
That works.
I'm usually against president of hockey ops, but because he doesn't have that experience, as long as he gets the final say so,
yes,
right? Like it's not like a situation like the Bills had where like Russ Brandon was running things behind the scenes and like Whaley had and the GMs had like no power. As long as Adams gets the final say so, by all means, give him a president of hockey
and
operations.
And the Pagula should keep their finger out of the pot too. Let the GM do let him work.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like what Adams has done so far. I like what he's done so far.
I mean, he's definitely tried. I mean, the whole Taylor Hall thing. I remember I was like, with the whole thing in September, I'm like, okay, we get Eric Stahl, but why aren't we going after these guys like Taylor Hall? Then they finally got him, and he didn't pan out to be anything. What was really concerning was Terry saying after signing Taylor Hall that the Sabres were going to be Stanley Cup contenders. That was Bobby. I see you moving your fucking hand over there.
Yeah,
bro.
because I was mocking Terry.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you were mocking me, so I just caught you in the act. But
No. I was making fun of Ryan in that situation.
yeah, he's like, we'd be instant Stanley Cup contenders. That is damning and that is concerning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on the other hand, though, the trade where he got rid of Hall and got picks and Anders Bjork back, I think Bjork is going to be better in Buffalo than he ever was in Boston. So I'm hoping to see that turn out pretty well. And then we also got picks back in that as well. So
he had to add Curtis Lazar to that. I liked Lazar too. I just wish he didn't get rid of him.
I did like Lazar, but it's I mean, it had to be done, right? I mean, if that was the best deal that was on the table, like that was actually on the table, and that was how you were going to get it done, I mean, then that's how it got done. But I mean, hey, hopefully Bjork turns out to be, develops better in Buffalo than he was in Boston. He's significantly younger than Hall, so.
And I honestly hope Boston breaks the living crap out of their bank to sign Taylor Hall, and he just sucks.
Oh, he will.
There you go.
He will.
Actually, a couple closing comments. So Luffy said, #Luffy out. He said, cheers, fellas. Sorry I couldn't make it. And then he wanted to end it by saying, Bobby, your hairline is still receding at an alarming rate. And on that note, for everybody here, we'll be back next week. Take care of yourselves and each other, everybody.
Wait a minute. We have to let everybody know that we have a Seattle Kraken live expansion draft show coming up on Wednesday.
Who cares?
Well, we're going to be here, so go fuck yourself.
Yep, you guys are welcome to join on. So
that means Sean will be representing the Kraken with his jersey. He's excited. I know that.
Bobby has a raging boner over that franchise.
I do not have a raging boner. I do not have a raging boner over that franchise. I turned a guy who didn't know shit into a fan who has no players yet.
You never keep the Kraken name out of your mouth, Bobby.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you do go the news out of the Kraken organization. Oh, Kraken this, Kraken that. We're gonna have a Kraken episode for the millionth fucking time. Like,
and you have more appearances on the show when you say the Astros are the shit and the Mets are garbage.
Well, do the facts lie? Do the facts lie?
End the show. Somebody just hit end.
Astros would blow the Mets out if they played them right now. Like 12-0. No, they probably went like 19-1. You're lucky to get one in the top of the ninth inning.
Tuve has a little wiener that's like this, and he can't do shit.
No, he pisses all over your franchise, all over the city of New York.
Yeah, try me.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Go Stros.
Go Mets.